The best sports TV for the Super Bowl 2020 will not be what Artings recommended. I have to open the video this way because I recently saw that video and I can't help but think if you buy some of those TVs, you're going to be really angry. So today, I'm going to be recommending the actual best TVs you can purchase. For starters, the Hisense H9F is the best budget TV you can purchase. The reason being is because for motion, it is exquisite. You're going to run into moments where when you're watching the game and balls are flying across the screen, it's just going to be smooth and fluid and you're not going to have a problem at all. The black levels are really deep, the colors are extremely rich and fully customizable. Albeit it's not perfect, there is a bit of a panel lottery, so you may get a bad unit and you might have to try a couple of times, which isn't ideal. So if you have the chance to maybe pick it up in a store, maybe that might be the best route to go. But if you get lucky with the panel lottery and you win, that TV is like king among kings. I mean, seriously, beating the top tier Q90R TV. Like, it's really a flagship heavy hitter from Hisense. And I know the name is not as notable here in the States as some other brands, but don't let that sway you. Another TV that you can buy if you're at your absolute budget price point is something like the Sony X900 f65 inch for $1,000, essentially, $1,100. Now, it's a little pricey, but again, in a similar fashion, you're not running into all those vertical lines across the screen when you're seeing panning motions happen, and that's really huge. X motion clarity keeps things pretty fluid too. While not as smooth as the Sony X900E predecessor, it is definitely a smoother TV than what we have on the market today, like the Sony X950G. I would not recommend a 950G over a 900F in terms of motion. So if you were looking between those two models, yeah, that's kind of a bust there. But what I will tell you is, even though it's not perfect, the 900F is a decent TV and you can enjoy sports on it. Now, that being said, the colors are outdated. They're not going to give you the same impact, but the picture processing is exquisite. So that's very important to note because you're likely going to be watching this over cable TV. And again, you don't want to run into those situations where it's not able to clean up all that extra compression from even if you're streaming it, right? Because this year it's in 4K via streaming. Yeah, upscaled, by the way. You still want to be able to clean up all that extra compression and all that noise and all that mess ups, all the mess ups that are going to happen from, again, a degraded quality that's not a physical source. So that being the case, that's my recommendation for that. Now, if you've got a little bit more of a larger budget, you've been saving up for this for a little bit, the Q80R will probably be the better option simply because you get the viewing angle benefits of OLED without all the burn-in risks, which is huge. Also, speaking of color, you have quantum.color. It's extraordinarily bright, which is really good. But then at the same point in time, you do have dirty screen effect because Samsung, for going on at least a decade now, has been suffering with dirty screen effect in their screens with no real remedy or fix or even mention to this. So while that may be on Arting's list, it barely made my list because Samsung really has a problem with dirty screen effect, and for sports, it is less than brilliant. Now, if you buy some of the older Samsung TVs like the 2018 line, those TVs are typically pretty decent except for like the Q9FN, so that's something to think about. But I know you can find a Q8FN for like $1,100, $1,200. That's a little pricey, but it is pretty solid too. It's still one of the best TVs I've ever seen in my life, and if you could find one, I'd still recommend it. Do note, though, you won't get the benefit of viewing angles, so that's something each person has to weigh up per his or her needs. Now, that being said, if you want an OLED, the best OLED to buy will probably just be the cheapest one. In my experience, most people don't usually go above the C9 to the E9 for the Super Bowl. So what I would recommend you do is go to the B9 or the B8. Those two OLEDs are going to be better because they're just going to save you a price of, having to pay all this money out and still running into issues. I say this because my 2018 LG C8 burned in within 2 weeks. It is completely random and quality control is up in the air. You really don't know what you're going to get, and why pay the extra money for unknown quality control? That's my point here. Though to be honest with you, I don't recommend you buy a OLED for Super Bowl because that's way too much of a risk with, again, a static station logo sitting in the corner the entire football match. And I just don't recommend that. And B, you also have a situation where I don't recommend you buy any of the 2019 TVs for the most part right now anyway, because they're likely going to receive a price cut as we go into spring and summer and those newer TVs do hit the shelves. You're going to run into clearance sales where those TVs get ridiculously low. Retail stores, especially at the local level, will just start throwing them away at insane prices that'll make you kick yourself at how low some of these prices were. To put it in retrospect, I've seen TVs like the Sony X900F 65-inch variant at local Best Buys get let go for $800. Like it gets ridiculous sometimes with the way the local stores will just throw away some of these TVs. Now, in terms of overall waiting, and if you can or if you don't want to, I recommend, honestly, if you have a TV that's working right now at all, just wait, man. Seriously, wait, because new TVs are on the horizon, new budget TVs at that will likely transform your whole experience beyond what we have right now if they, again, hold up their end of the bargain, which of course I'll be testing and reviewing and making sure that they're holding up their end of the bargain. But so far, those are your budget TV choices. Now, if you are on a super mega extreme budget, the Hisense H8F is the best extreme budget TV, which the average going price is like $399, and you get good enough. You have local dimming, you have a lot of the same higher end features, and you don't have to break the bank too much. I do not recommend any Vizios because Vizio is that brand that is crappy for motion, and you are going to run into tons of problems. The same holds true with the TCL R625. But if you have a TV that didn't quite make the list and you're comparing TVs and you want to know which TV is good or not, just ask me in the comment section down below if you want a true professional's opinion and be able to help you find the right TV for you and your family. That being said, thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.